What's up, boys? In this video, I'm gonna show you guys my exact SOP to achieve an 85% show up on my SMS sales calls, which is completely unheard of. And this is what scaled me to over 70K a month right now within my agency. And I've done this in such a short period of time, in only just a couple of months. So I'm just gonna get straight to it, boys. So super important is lead nurture. All right. You can do all the follow-up you want. You could do all of the pre-call videos, you have the perfect VSL, you can do all of these sort of tactics. It's not gonna matter if the lead quality isn't good, you haven't built urgency, and you're basically giving them a reason for why they even need to show up to your call in the first place, right? So you need to build up that value first for them to even want to show up. So I'm just gonna start off here, building urgency, right? And building urgency ties into qualification, right? So one of the key things I'll do on these calls is I will qualify them and build urgency by making sure that they want to hit at least 100K a month when it comes to the goals that they want to achieve. To me, on these SMS calls, I don't really care too much about what they're currently making. My main goal is like, is this person hungry to make more money, right? Because if they're hungry to make more money, then I know that they would actually be interested in my services because they actually have a problem that they are actively looking to solve, right? Some people might be making even 100K a month, some of these construction companies, these roofing companies and things like that, and they don't really care that much about making more than that, right? So even if they agree to hop on a call with me, like I am solving a problem for them, but it's not a problem that they care too much about being solved, right? So like they don't really need it, they don't really care for it that much. I mean, sure, they'd like for it to be solved, but the urgency is not there. So like my goal in the setting call is to build that urgency for those type of people. But if there's no urgency there, then they're not going to want to show up, right? Or they just don't care enough to show up, you know? So that's why you guys' show up rate is so shit, because you just bring anyone onto your calls, right? So what I do is I really try to build urgency by making sure that they have a high enough goal in which they want to reach. And then I ask them, why do they want to reach that goal, right? Like, why do you want to reach at least 100K a month? That's what I always ask them, is I always make sure I'm like, hey, look, like for me, it's not worth my time to work with you unless you're looking to scale your business to at least 100K a month, right? And if someone gives me some answer like, yeah, you know, I'm doing 20K a month, but you know, I kind of want to hit 40K a month, I will try to break some limiting beliefs, right? Because sometimes these people, they don't even realize that they can be making this much amount of money. So I'm like, I mean, 40K, I mean, why only 40K? Why not 100K a month? And you know, I kind of break their limiting beliefs just by asking questions like that. And when I finally break their limiting beliefs, or I get someone who does say that they want to make 100K a month, or maybe they're already making 100K a month, they want to make 200K a month. Once I get them to the point where their goal is big enough for me to actually want to work with them, so it's at least 100K a month, I will ask them like, okay, why do you want to hit that goal? Like, if you don't mind me asking, why do you want to hit that goal? Because I get people sometimes on these calls, because I'm on a lot of these calls, telling me that they want to hit this goal, but you know, they just kind of say they're not that serious about it. Like, if you don't mind me asking, like, why do you want to hit this goal? What does it mean for you, right? And basically, I'm now making sure that they're actually serious about hitting that goal. You know what I'm saying? And it's really helpful because they're kind of talking themselves into why they want to hit that goal. You get what I'm saying? And it builds that urgency, and they're kind of like, oh shit, like, okay, it means this for my family. Oh, okay, I'm able to take a step back from business now if I'm making this much money and I get this solved, blah, 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 right? And so you just really need to build up that urgency on that call, and making them want to solve that problem now, today, and even identifying a problem within the business on that setting call, making them aware of it at least, right? And then you want to qualify them, right? Like, and that goes hand in hand. Like, you want to qualify them about like their seriousness, how fast they want to solve this problem, which ties back into building urgency. Obviously, you want to make sure that they're making enough money and that they're not some like bum. And also, you can just qualify them based on vibes, right? Like, you can just kind of tell based on the way they speak, based on the way they answer your questions. Like, if they are someone that actually seems like they have a good head on their shoulders, they actually run a reputable business and things like that, right? So it's pretty vague, but it's more of just like a feels thing, right? Like, as long as they're making at least like 20K a month and they seem pretty hungry about getting their business to their goals, and they don't seem like a dumbass, they're pretty much qualified, right? Social proof, right? So you kind of want to throw in little nuggets of like, hey, yeah, like, okay, you want to hit 100K a month? Oh, you're doing 20? Oh, crazy. Like, I actually had a client out in Idaho who like, we actually took him from 20 to 120K a month in literally like 2 months, and the guy is now just consistently closing like 30K jobs a couple times a month, right? Like, he's consistently closing like 4 to 5 30K jobs a month, right? And so what that does is you're building social proof. And like, when you throw casual nuggets in right there, like, yeah, I'm working with over 50 people in the country, and I've scaled dozens of people to over 100K a month, you know? And it's like, you can throw that social proof in there, bro, and you guys are gonna be chilling, right? Like, you're building up your status. You're raising your status. So it's like, oh, okay, this guy does this. You can also even do a brand push and talk about how you're on Fox News and this and that. That works pretty well. But yeah, like that's a really good thing. You want to increase your status so they're like, cause look, I'll give an example actually. Guys, if if you were to book a call with Alex Hormozi, there is no fucking way you'd miss that meeting. Right? There's no way you'd miss that meeting because his status is up here. He's like $100 million guy, a bunch of books, helped scale so many people, just a lot of business knowledge. You trust him. So it's like, there's no way you'd miss the meeting. Obviously, you're not going to be able to get a Hormozi level effect on these people just on a setting call, but you want to get as close to that as possible, right? Unique mechanism, right? Like what's unique about you? You need a unique mechanism. Like you need a unique mechanism on how they're going to hit their goal, right? Everyone's told them the same thing. Angie's List, I'm going to sell you some leads, this, that. That's the same shit that they hear from everyone else, right? You need something unique. So when you're explaining your system and your process on that setting call, make something unique. Talk a little about AI, like, hey, we're going to use AI. It can be basic Facebook ads, or I don't know what, like, that's what I do, right? Just Facebook ads with some AI shit involved in it. It can just be basic Facebook ads, but you need to throw a twist in there. You need to make it sound cooler than it is. Talk about, yo, we're using AI, like, oh yeah, we're using this crazy algorithm, blah, 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 blah. Make it sound a lot cooler than it really is. And the unique mechanism automatically sets you apart. You're not the same kind of guy that they deal with, okay? That's a lead nurture. That's the beginning of the setting call. That's kind of why you want to conduct the setting call, to make sure everything else that I talk about works. Okay, so now let's look at the actual booking of the setting call, all right? So when you're booking them in, right, once they've agreed like to get booked and they want to talk with you, to discuss it further, you will need to remove all potential excuses for them to join the meeting, right? So when they tell you, okay, yeah, I'm good at this time, I'll be like, okay, just to double check with you, man. Obviously, nothing in this life is guaranteed, but are you sure as possible as you can be that you're not gonna have to be on a job site, you're not gonna have a random appointment come up, you don't need to go to the grocery store or anything like that come up at this time? Are you sure you can make it? And like, you actually list out the potential excuses that they would mention, and you get them to agree that those are not gonna be an issue, right? And that really, really does help, trust me. So then the next one is booking them as soon as possible. This is honestly one of the most important things you could do. I really recommend doing your setting in the morning and trying to book these people in at noon, afternoon, even evening on the same day, or literally do an instant meeting, because the show up rate is so much higher. Like, you guys can get a 90 to 100% show up rate if you're booking people in on the same exact day. That makes things so, you're way more likely for them to show up, right? Because the longer you wait, the more likely they're going to forget about you, and it's kind of like out of sight, out of mind, right? So you need to be as soon as possible, okay? So book them in as soon as possible. Okay, this is the next one. This is also really, really important. Prompt them with reminder calls and information, right? So I always prompt them like this. I'm always like, okay, look, man, I booked them in. I'm like, okay, look, you're gonna get some reminder messages, just, confirming and reminding you of our meeting. And I'm actually gonna give you a call before our meeting. And I might give you, if let's just say you book them in like a couple days out, which I really don't recommend, but if let's say you have to, I might give you a call tomorrow and the day after tomorrow. I'm just letting you know, just to make sure that we're still good to go, and maybe you need to reschedule or something comes up. But just to make sure we're good to go, I'm gonna give you a I wouldn't say couple. I'll give you a call before our meeting, just to make sure that we're still good to go for a call. And you'll get a couple of reminders. Also, I'm gonna book you in right now. You should receive some information about me, video, website, some testimonials from my clients, and you can check all that stuff out so you know that we're reputable and everything. You'll get that information. Just feel free to check that out. You'll receive it via text message. And then what you guys should do is you need to book them in on the call, like literally click the book button on your calendar thing. And once you've done that, they should receive the text messages, right? If you guys use my snapshot, which I'm going to give you guys, they should receive the text message immediately on the call. Like, hey, did you get the message? I'm like, yeah, that's the link, guys. Like, you can check it out. Feel free to do that. There'll be a video there. I recommend watching the video. It's like a 5-10 minute video. I just kind of go over client results, kind of how this whole thing works. So recommend you checking that out, right? And that way, when you start calling them to, appointment confirm, and you send them the text messages and all that stuff, they're not like, oh, why am I getting all these spam messages? You kind of already let them know beforehand, so they're expecting it already, and that doesn't position you as someone who's just spamming them, okay? Next step, okay? Post-booking lead nurture. This is also crazy important, right? So once you book them in, you need to make sure that they get a VSL, and then they get an appointment text, an email confirmation message right after scheduling them in, right? I've noticed the people who actually watch my VSL before hopping on the sales call, I'm way more likely to close, and they tend to be way warmer of a prospect, okay? So this is pretty basic. Just make sure that there's the VSL link and then text automation immediately after booking, and that plays back into prompt them with a reminder calls and then the information on that meeting. They should receive this while you're on the setting call, because you book the appointment and they receive it immediately, and you confirm with them that they got this information from you, okay? Then make sure that they're getting reminder text messages and emails. Don't spam them, just make sure you have an instant message like here that confirms it, then have a reminder message 24 hours before and then an hour before the meeting. And then I recommend you guys like calling them 1 or 2 hours before the meeting to confirm. And I would do this as long as you've booked the meeting either on the same day or one day before. Call them an hour or two before the meeting. If you book them more than a day out, so if you book them 2 days out, 3 days out, then you want to give them also a call before the meeting date and then also an hour or two before the meeting, because you want to make sure that they remember you, right? So you maybe, if you book them out 3-4 days, you might want to give them a call every day. Not gonna lie, that might seem kind of spamish, whatever, but you might want to give them a call every day just so that they remember you, right? And just be like, hey, I just want to make sure we're good. And then send them the meeting link. Pretty self-explanatory. Make sure that they get the meeting link via text and email, guys. Just because you send them through email, even if they remember, they might not know how to navigate this stuff. So make sure that they get the meeting link also by text so that they know that it's easily joinable, right? Even if they join on their phone, you want them to join on your computer. But even if they join on their phone, once you're on the meeting, you can always tell them, hey, can you hop on your computer? And they can always just switch the computer, right? The main goal is just to get them on the meeting in the first place, you know? And then the next thing is, what do you do if the prospect doesn't show up, right? You did everything correctly. The prospect doesn't show up within the first 5 minutes. What are the steps from here, right? How do I get them to show up? Okay, send them a text, an email saying waiting ... This works so well, honestly. Like, I get so many responses with this. So what I'll do is I'll send them a message waiting ... I'll put in like a space on the same message and I'll throw the meeting link here, join meeting link, and then a lot of times they'll respond, because that actually, when they see the preview of the text message as waiting ... it kind of like they trigger something. It's like trigger something when they see the text message. They actually want to click it, and then they're like, oh, okay, it's this, and they jump in. And then I'll do the same thing with email, right? Like email, I'll send another email on my own, like manually, and I'll put the subject as waiting ... and then I'll like in the email I'll be like, hey, it's Washi. We had spoken about getting you more appointments and more jobs. Here's the meeting link just to discuss it, our previous conversation, whatever, blah, 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 blah. And then send it to them, they'll hop in. And yeah, just make sure you call them a couple times, right? Don't call more than 3 times, then it's kind of spammy, but call them 2 to 3 times. Just, you really don't have much to lose at this point. And like, just remind them of their meeting, man. It's pretty simple. And then here's the last thing, guys. If they don't show up and this all fails, have self-respect and bounce, guys. If you don't get any sort of response from them within the first 5 minutes, you waited 5 minutes, you did this thing that I told you, you you called them a couple times and they still aren't picking up to any of your calls, or they're not responding to text messages, just leave the meeting, move on. If they call you back or message you back, then okay, you can figure things out, but just leave the meeting at that point. There's no point in sitting there for 10 minutes is not going to work. If they don't show up within the first few minutes on their own, they're probably not going to show up, right? Unless they send a message being like they're going to be running late or anything like that. I've never sat there for 10 minutes ever and had them finally show up 10 minutes late. Like, that's never ever happened to me. Or even 5 minutes. If they're going to be late, they always let you know first, or you have to call them and then they tell you, oh yeah, hey man, yeah, I'm running a bit late. You know what I'm saying? So that's always what happens. But anyways, boys, that's the video right there. Hope that helps. If you guys want to scale to over 50K a month the way I have, click below, DM me on Instagram. Okay, Chiriak, you're gonna have to edit this part a little bit and kind of put it back together. I'm just gonna continue my CTA. Yeah, DM me on Instagram, guys, if you want to learn how to hit over 50K a month, just the same way I have. Give you guys my exact systems, mentor you personally on how to do it. And we actually have 2 mentors. My boy Aditya, he's also one of the mentors in the group. He has his own agency that he's making almost 80K a month with. And so we're gonna teach you guys exactly what to do. So click below, DM me and apply. DM me on Instagram, link will be there. And yeah, guys, if you guys still want to do things for free, add a snapshot link, use that, make some money. All right, boys, take care.